Aloha, everyone in another level living land. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Freedom Fridays. So happy that you're here because we are in store for an amazing treat and some awesome wisdom on how to master your vibe to transform your life. First, let me share with you before I introduce our wonderful guest today. What is the purpose of this show? The purpose of the Freedom Friday show is to support you as the entrepreneur and achieving success in your business and life harmony so that you can stress less, strengthen your relationships, lead with much more energy, ease, and momentum, work smarter, not harder, as well as create your own time, money, and emotional freedom. It is totally possible for all of those who are called to the journey of entrepreneurship. Victory is already yours. And a lot of times it can be difficult walking in it, which is why we bring this wisdom to you to let you know that it's possible and re-encourage you on what's possible. Also invite you to go ahead over to anotherlevelliving.com/harmony and get your 7 secrets towards more business and life harmony today. You're also going to have a really awesome opportunity for another great gift from our special guest today. Let's go ahead and give Jewana White a warm Another Level Living welcome. Jewana, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh, I'm grateful that you have me here today. I am grateful to be here with you and your guests today. Thank
Oh, thank you. Yay. Well, let me let them know who you are and how you serve. So, Jewana White, she is known as the Midlife Resurrector, is an evolutionary healthcare, bringing it back to self-care and using her unique CPR system to revive energetic wellness. If you feel pain in your body or friction in your relationships or in a hole financially, then there is stuck energy. And here's Joanna actually uses a blend of Chinese medicine and spiritual practices in order to raise your natural healing energy, avoiding health issues, attracting more love, and creating more cash flow by aligning your vibe. So go ahead and put some hearts and stuff in the comments if you resonate with that, which, a lot of times we do. And it's perfect, perfect timing with everything that's happening in the world for us to hear her wisdom. Her passion is living her best life, is began with a spiritual journey. She attained her Bachelor of Science in Biblical Studies, and she is an interfaith minister. She has an associate degree in massage therapy, where she woke into her power of energy healing and is currently acquiring her master's in acupuncture, Chinese medicine. She's also a Reiki master, a trained clairvoyant, and a rapid transformational therapist. Oh my goodness, Jewana, that is so amazing. What a beautiful blend of skills.
Listen, it sounds amazing, but the beauty of all those skills was me helping me. That's when it all started, like me mastering my vibe. What's this energy? What are these repeated cycles that I'm living? And a lot of times we don't associate the two. And that's what, when I hear that, I'm like, this was a time in my life. This was a time in my life. And it was all for the healing. And that's why I could say, starting back, you do what you're told to do. And I was told to go to church when you're ready for healing. So that's what I did. And I did it. And I realized then that's when I'm passionate about things, because some people go to church and they go to church and they go to church. No, I went to school, I got a degree, and the passion of just getting closer to God was everything for me. And then realizing when you really do hear the voice of God, it's not always in a nice situation. It's not always the way you want it to be. And tuning into it is not always what we feel is ease and flow. There might be some friction that come, and understanding that friction as your growth period, because now you're growing to that next level you've been asking for, but you got to deal with that stuff that's vibing out of you now so you can vibe up.
Man, this is, first of all, you've already said so much profound wisdom, even before, like, and you answered the question about why is, this something important and why is this something that we need to really pay attention to. I loved how you talked about how it's the resistance that creates those growth opportunities. One of the beautiful things as you were talking, it reminded me about a message that I heard, how hurt people. Consciously and unconsciously is what we say here at Another Level Living, but healed people heal people. And there's a beauty in when you rise like the out of the ashes sometimes, especially out of heartbreak and overwhelm, to becoming a better version of yourself. And it's possible because you can hold the space even better for other people who may not really know or understand. And that connection with God, we always talk about, that's like the most important thing, because a
Right,
lot of times we want to follow our plan and our mind and our heart space, or our mind, like our heart says one thing, our mind says another, and all that conflict just leads to more conflict. And what you're sharing with them is a way to change that. So tell us a little bit um about how, first of all, tell us a little bit more about like the transformation for you, and also how you serve others, and what are some wisdoms that you can be able to share with us for people who are in those stuck states, like they may not even understand that they're stuck.
right, right. And that's the first step. So I call this my AAA. Like you have to awake to the fact that something may not be right. And a lot of times it shows up in our bodies and we ignore that first. So if it's someone that is, sometimes it could be as subtle as you're thinking you're having a great day. And then somebody will go, you seem a little off today. And you go, me? That's a subtle energy that's flowing.
Mm,
And we don't even recognize it because we think we're in a good place. When the body is speaking a little louder, it may be a headache every once in a while.
mm,
And what you do, you pop a Tylenol, you feel fine, and you keep it moving. That's another subtle energy that's speaking to you that there is dis-ease in the body. That's a dis-ease in your frequency and your vibration. And
mm,
Tesla said, if you really want to know the secrets of the universe, think in forms of energy, vibration, and frequency. So knowing what your vibration is truly the secret to the universe.
yes. Oh my goodness. So good. Because, like one of the secrets I sometimes share is that your vibe will attract your tribe, right? Your vibe, what you vibe out will come. Like, a lot of times we'll think, oh my gosh, we just attract what we want. But we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are, you know?
And the best way to notice is, what am I attracting? Start taking a look at where you are in your life. Am I where I want to be? Does this feel the way I want it to be? And those are some of the friction times where you're being grown to another level. And sometimes we resist it and we stay. But what I noticed for me was, the more I didn't listen, the more the universe upped the ante. So you don't want to listen to these subtle signs. Then you have to hear things like, I know what it takes to make you happy. I just choose not to do it. After being married for almost 20 years,
Mm,
those words shook my core.
mm,
But it was there because I already knew that. And God had to make me hear it for me to make a move. The subtle energies, paying attention to those subtle things that does not make you feel good, paying attention to how you feel. That's the most important secret to life,
oh my
and
goodness.
to choose you. Always don't give that choice to anybody else. That's
You
your
know, and I love that you shared that, because then you can pour from your overflow flow. A lot of times, we're taught, especially as women, right? Okay, is to be there for everybody else. And then you get the leftovers, which is usually nothing. You're
Right.
already depleted. But then if you switch that to really owning and tuning in what's going on with you, because no one can take control of, or no one can make you happy, right? Like it's an inside thing. A lot of times we think that it's these external things, and yes, it could make you happy, like temporarily, but there's a beauty when you step into your permanent joy from the inside.
It
And
is.
that really has a lot to do with really knowing who you are and who you were created to be.
And that was the focus. So when you're telling me one thing, I was created in the image of, and I have the same powers of, then I need to see them manifest in real time. No
Yes.
other time, not when we cross this line or that line. I need to see it happen in real time. So that has been my quest for life. So if there's a block for me, let's remove that block because I need to see it in real time. Is it taking maybe longer than I envisioned it? Yes, it may be in my time, but there always is God's time. So I'm just moving on, guys. I've learned to let go, just let go. And letting go is a process. It's not, I let go and I'm good. No, I let go, and guess what? Maybe a year from now, something will check my vibe for me and say, did you really let that go? And now I got to take my own advice and seek out those to help me. That's why I seek out powerful coaches like Dr. Heather right here to coach me when I'm going through that moment where I can't even see my vibe, understand my vibe. Somebody will tell you, you know, you seem a little off. How can we move you forward? How can we do this? And that to me has been the most powerful state that I find that I can be in. Surrounding myself with people that can check me.
Yay. Oh, I love it. And then how does that even amplify how you serve your clients?
It's so everything always takes me back to the Bible because that's my foundation. That's where, and it says when two or three are gathered, it's just that much more powerful. So understanding that you're a force, and when you bind with another force, you're just that much more powerful. So how many forces can I bind with to shoot past all these blocks that I got, to shoot past all? So I belong and I'm coached by forces, not people. It's another force that has joined with me to say, you got this. You keep going. You are amazing. You are capable. You are strong, because they're on the ones outside this window looking at me saying, I see her doing the work. I see she and they're helping me water that seed that I planted. And that's another force that's helping you. Because when you really get into the nature of who God is planting that seed and allowing things to come along to help it grow, not being resistant to it. And a lot of us are resistant to iron sharpening iron. And we need
Mm.
it. We need
So
it.
good. So good. You were talking about the seed, right? Never underestimate the power of a seed being planted. I love that you have this foundation, especially from the Bible and in Christ, because that will lead you like, okay, if God is saying these amazing things, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are far worth more than rubies in itself, right? And we know this from there. The question is, how do we own that and believe that royalty in us? A lot of situations that happen in life. I usually like to say the bigger stuff that you go through, the bigger the calling is, and the bigger the blessing is. Because when you let your it's almost I think of a tree, how it creates a deep roots. And the
Mhm.
beautiful thing is that you created this beautiful fruit for now other people to partake and create their fruit. And
Mm,
it's a ripple effect. It's a beautiful wave that you're creating by helping people see the power of what they are.
right. It's just, that's my passion. It's for people to understand their power. and how great it truly is. How great focusing your mind on those subconscious thoughts that are ruling you. And we don't even realize that they're so deep down in there. And a lot of people get offended by my course, let that shit go. But that shit is that secret, hidden, internal
Mm,
trauma that
mm.
is ruling your life. So being able to let that go is the only way to vibe up. And sometimes when we're vibing up, we got to understand things have to vibe out, and being able to deal with it and understand who you are in the vibing is the most powerful place any of us could ever be. And that's my passion, is to see every woman own who they are.
Oh my goodness. So good. So good. Like, that part about, so we have a 3-step process here, another level living, lean in, let go, and leap forward, right? That hardest part sometimes can be that part about letting go. And I highly recommend that you actually connect with Jewana so therefore she can help you with that letting go. Because if you don't heal what hurt you, you will bleed all over people who don't deserve it. And those little things that were pebbles, those subtle things become louder and big old mountains, right? It's much better to deal with it when it's a mountain, but it's a pebble as compared to a big mountain. But one of the things that you also mentioned, that I love that analogy about the subtle changes, right? The subtle awareness. I think about it as nature too, right? For example, we've had so much transformation, natural disasters, everything that's going on, but notice how they're like the first overflood breakdown in 60 years, right? Now it's starting to get on this massive scale because nature is talking to us, even, but then how are we listening? And a lot of that, what Jewana is talking about, it also boils into our relationships. If we're not able to really hear our voice and hear what God is saying to us, it's hard for us to be able to deal with the challenges of those who we love closest to us because they got a whole nother thing going on in their mind. So you're talking about winning the inner world to maximize the outer world. And that's so beautiful, like healing from the inside out.
Yeah, that's I my thing is your gut. So in two ways, that gut intuition and your microbiome gut. So a lot of people are suffering with IBS, with
Mm.
not constipation, and it's you're not in tune with your gut. And a lot of times that weighs on what you're able to hear from your intuition gut.
Oh
So
my
we
goodness.
clear that stuff out because
Okay.
you got to let it go, all that shit, for you to be able to even be in tune with yourself. Your body, your vessel is the direct connection to the divine. That's how you're spoken to. These senses, what do you think they're there for? Those are your power senses. Those are your spidey senses, as they call them with Spider-Man, and that's what they are.
Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. Well, let us know. First of all, how can people continue this journey with you? Is there any free gift that you can be able to offer to support us in really nurturing? Because this is just the fraction of what Jewana has to offer you. So I highly recommend you continue on with this journey. What do you have for us today?
So they could go to my website, U Factor Wellness, the letter U Factor
Okay.
Wellness.com, and you could download my free Vibe Up checklist just so you can see what that even means to you. What is your vibe? What am I checking on? So that's what you need to gauge yourself on a daily basis. And
Right.
what it's really doing is just reprogramming. If you waking up in the morning going, oh man, I got to do this all day, your vibe has been set and you don't even realize it. I'm about to go hit traffic and do, let's check your vibe daily, morning, every morning. And they used to say, I used to say, command your morning. Use this for the to create, not to live in friction. And we're too powerful for that. So check your vibe. And what I'm offering everybody here with Dr. is to be able to book a free call with me to get a vibe up checkup. So we can really see where you are, because sometimes, like I said, you feeling good and somebody else is saying to you, you seem a little off. So let's just check exactly where you are and see how we can move forward.
Yay! Oh my goodness, that is so great. Well, I'm gonna put the links in the chat, and I
Okay.
want y'all to make sure that y'all take action on getting, like, this is a beautiful gift that you're giving us, right? Some of your time to be able to check what's going on with us. And the all change starts with awareness. So for those of you who are dealing with anything in your life right now, you want to go ahead and get your checklist. You want to go ahead and get your session with her so she can see where you're at. That's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much for giving
Thank
that gift to us.
you. Thank you. And I look forward to speaking to whoever feels like you just need to check and see where you are right now.
I love it. I love it. Based on our conversation, what would be like the biggest thing that you want to leave us with today?
Always choose you and how you feel. You're the most important investment that you have. Choose you.
So good. Oh my goodness. So y'all, ladies and gentlemen, sharing is caring. If you want to give someone else the gift of how to master their vibe to transform their life, make sure you share this video out, and also put in what are your biggest comments in the takeaway in the comments below. We would love to hear your wisdom too. Jewana, this has been an absolute pleasure being able to talk with you. And I know that it inspired so many people, including me. I'm always inspired by your wisdom. And for everyone in Another Level Living Land, let this marinate over your soul throughout the entire weekend and beyond. And go ahead and take action and get her gifts today. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you so much, Jewana.
Thank you.
All right, everyone in Another Level Living Land, have a wonderful weekend. And